Hi everyone, my name is Chris. I am converting this ex-U-Haul truck into a work living space. And today I am going to take you through my internet service provider. I'm pretty new on this whole van life, whatever journey. And I work remotely, essentially. I run my business from my truck, and that requires a very good internet connection. But unfortunately, that is not something that I've had consistently. So I have been flipping between the hotspot on my phone. I've been using Nomad internet to mixed results, and it's just been a struggle. It's never been consistent. So I finally bit the bullet and got myself a Starlink Mini. I've been mulling over this decision for pretty much 9 months now, 10 months actually. And I kind of knew I was always going to eventually get Starlink, but this is it. Today's the day that I am going to open it up and get it set up, basically. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to open it up, I'm going to try it out. So let's go through the whole process. So the first thing is, why did I get the Starlink Mini? A couple of months ago, the regular Starlink came on offer for pretty cheap, for $175. I was considering getting that, but I still wasn't 100% sure whether I actually wanted Starlink. By the time I thought to myself, yeah, I may as well get it, the price had gone back up to whatever it is, $350. So then I was like, okay, I'll make a decision when I'm ready to. Then the Starlink Mini went on sale. That was when I made the decision to go, okay, I'm going to cancel my Nomad internet. I didn't realize that they canceled instantaneously. They didn't let it go to the end of the month or anything like that. They just canceled it. So I was like, I guess that I literally have to get an alternate internet solution ASAP. So that made me buy this. But the good thing is, from what I can tell, for Vanlife, the Mini is actually really good. So I'm very happy that I got the Mini as opposed to the standard. From what I understand, it uses less power. It has a built-in router rather than having a separate router unit. Obviously, it's smaller, so a little bit more stealth. And it can run off DC. So I'm not 100% sure whether the standard can run off DC. But yeah, so I'm happy with the purchase. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people in the comments telling me how it's a terrible decision and whatever it is. And just fill your boots on that one. But yeah, so I've got the Starlink Mini, and let's see what's inside the box. Okay, so it looks, I like how simple it is. So this is the antenna and the router built all in one. This is if you want to run it from an outlet, which I'm not going to do. This is a mount to put it on a pole, I think. Let's just take the actual unit out. It is very, very small. It's about the size of standard sort of letter. That's basically it. I guess the cable. Okay, there we go. That is a 1,000,000-meter cable. Clearly. That's it. That is literally it. It is beyond simple, and I guess that these instructions are pretty simple as well. So just to set it up and try it out, I'm going to use the normal power outlet plug. But I guess what we're looking at here is plug it in, download the app, point it at the sky, and connect to it. Okay, let's see. So for those of you who don't know, Starlink is satellite internet. There needs to be a clear view of the sky in order for it to actually ping off the satellites. So you can't just have it inside. It doesn't work like cellular service. If I do it now, I think that it will just be completely 100% blocked. So the way I'm going to try it out is I'm going to put this on my dashboard and see how much I can get just internet-wise, just to test it out. So let's do that. That is a long-ass cable. My God, that is long. Okay. So the way I'm going to do this is I put it on my dashboard. And I'm going to do it in a way that I don't care about the cable. This is definitely not the permanent setup here. Definitely not. Now we're going to take this power cable through. I live in Houston, Texas, so having that cab door open just allows so much heat to come in. So this is definitely not a permanent solution, but let's just try it out here. Okay, I've just plugged in the little power cable into the plug. And where am I going to plug it in? Let's plug it in the kitchen for now, just to try it out. Now I'm going to take my phone. Okay. Now I'm going to take my phone and I'm going to scan this QR code on here. So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into the cab and we'll see what it says. Okay, open settings. It says it's excellent signal strength, so that's good. Internet access will be restricted in 56 minutes. Okay, so activate Starlink. Okay, so it's just connected, and then I just need to activate it within the hour, so it gives you an hour free internet. It is currently drawing 22 watts of power. Speed test, okay. That's the first thing we want to do. Let's just see what it does. Okay, so just speed test from within the cab. 67 down. Okay, 60-ish down. So I'm kind of expecting this to not be great. Just for the fact that I'm literally doing this through a tinted windscreen. But 74 down, 7 up, and 22 milliseconds of ping is fine. It's better than my cell phone data, that's for sure. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to run a quick speed test just to see what we're kind of looking at here, just in the most unoptimized conditions. Let's see. Okay, so first test is 82 down, 7 or 6.5-ish up, which is okay. It's, considering it's just through the windshield, through a tinted windshield, I think that's absolutely fine. It's definitely better than my Nomad internet. I'm going to run a second test. Obviously, this is going to vary because it has such a restricted view of the sky. Once it's on the roof and it has a clear view of the sky and no obstructions or anything around it, it will definitely be a lot better. But as of right now, it's we're getting there. We're getting there. Let's see what the second test says. Okay, so second test is definitely better. 126 down and pretty much 10 up. So it will fluctuate as the sort of Earth rotates and the satellites are sort of passing through. But once we get that clearer view of the sky, it will be a lot more consistent and a lot faster overall. So definitely better than my previous internet provider. Happy with the first results. Let's see what happens once I install it on the roof. So I actually just activated it and set it up. It technically came with a 7-day free trial. I took that because an extra 7 days for free it's always good for me. So did that. So I'll actually get my first bill for a week. I'm going to do the 50 gigabyte for now because I do have quite regular internet access near me. So I'm going to do the 50 gigabyte a month for now, see how that does, and then I'll upgrade if need be. But it's good to have that option at least. But yeah, it was actually super easy to set up. When it comes to taking money, companies are usually really smooth to get the money from you as soon as possible. And just installing a software update and we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so setup is easy. So far, so good. Let's jump into the next part of the video where I'm going to install it on my roof. One tiny update that I'm going to give is I rotated. It's still in the front of my cab right now. Basically, I screwed around with it and it was talking about alignment. So I rotated it 180 degrees and then I did another speed test and it's even better than it was before. So right now, where are we? So before it was getting like around 100 or something like that, around 100 down and like between 10 and 15 up. Now, just by rotating, bear in mind it's still on my cab and there's still not a clear view of the sky. Now I'm just running a test and it's 186 down and 25 up. Just rotating it has managed to almost double the speed which is pretty awesome. Obviously, that still fluctuates depending on the rotation and the satellites and stuff. But yeah, it's very fast compared to cellular data, that's for sure. So yeah, that's the main thing for me. Especially at the start of this journey, I was really struggling with internet and trying to have calls with people and stuff like that with the internet down and no AC, which is also a position that I was in. It was really tough. So having fast internet that is reliable and it also isn't based on cell service, that definitely makes me very happy. Yeah, but let's see how it goes with it actually on the roof. All right, excuse the mess. I've been figuring out my Starlink. So I finally got everything that I needed together and have been trying to piece together the final installment. So here's Amazon. I think that may be my ladder, which is definitely the final piece. Hold on 1 minute. Just to show you on camera, here's my ladder. I saw the Amazon driver through the window. I've got my ladder that I will open up in a minute. I already have a ladder, but this is one that I'm going to carry in the truck. It's a collapsible one. I wanted it for maintenance and doing the sides, you know, roof and stuff like that. So this is all I have. Beautiful. Here's what's happening. We have the Starlink Mini. Then, what I did is I bought a mount, which is this grey thing that you can see is the mount. So, my roof is not magnetic, which is not something that I thought of when I bought the mount. And the roof mount has magnets on it. So it's designed really for cars and trucks. So I can't use the magnets to hold it on, it would just slide off. So what I did is I cut the rubber off the bottom so that this VHB adhesive would stick to something, with the metal rather than the rubber, because it doesn't really stick to rubber. And I attached VHB tape. So this VHB tape is the same stuff that's on the solar panels. It should suffice, especially in full places. I'm going to be very careful with it at first and just double check it, but I'm fairly sure it will be certain. I'm also going to get some, as well as an extra temporary fix for now, some flex tape as well to just double secure it. Again, this is going to be a temporary measure because what I think I'm going to do once I redo the roof is I'm going to bolt this in using these little bolt holes here, and I'll just bolt it straight into the metal. So there's a semi-temporary version that I'm doing for now. So that's what I have: the Starlink Mini, I have the mount, and I have the VHB tape to secure it on the top. Then what we have is two cables. You only need one for the Starlink Mini because it has a router inside. So you only need the power cable. But the second hole is an Ethernet port. So I want the Ethernet and the power cable to come through. So that goes through here, and it's going to go into the roof. First thing is this power cable is not the regular power cable. It is a special USB-C DC power cable. The power cable you get with the Starlink in general is like a barrel connector for DC. I wanted it to be USB-C. So that's what I got. I tested it out in my USB-C ports that I have, and it works. It powers it up fine. So, power, figured out. The second thing is the Ethernet cable is not some regular Ethernet cable. It has waterproofing on. I'll cut in a close-up because I don't think this is shown on camera. But it has a waterproofing collar on it on both sides. You don't need the Ethernet cable, but I'm having one anyway. With that being said, I've got a solar entry gland so that the cables have some extra waterproofing on it. I can go through and cover up the hole in the roof. But what that means is that I now have two entry holes that have waterproofing on it that can, that can now be that can now enter my roof. With that all being said, the next steps that I need to take is, I don't have my drill with me, so I need to go back to storage, get my drill, go on the roof, and then I need to drill holes for these to go up into my upper cabinet. I need to put some extra rubber gaskets on the holes so that the metal don't scrape and scrape through the wire. Then I'm going to secure the entry gland on the roof. I'm going to secure it with a VHB tape, then I'm going to secure it with silicone, and then I'm going to secure it with flex tape on top of that silicone as well, just to prevent that VHB getting any water in. And then it's going to be on the roof like that. I haven't even checked whether there's enough space up there. I'm almost certain that there is enough space up there, because this is tiny, but technically I have not checked, so that will be interesting. So that's where we're at right now. I'm probably not going to install it today, and maybe tomorrow, because I have some other stuff to do today and I can't put everything away to go back to storage. But we are getting closer. At the end of this video, Starlink will be installed. So let's cut to Chris installing it right now.